Alright guys, long time no see. I know I have been the worst for keeping the updates regular on this save. I've not written a script or anything for this, so we're just going to go kind of through it from start to finish. It might be a bit rambly at times, because I am just going to kind of leave the filter off, but it's just going to be a bit of a monologue about what's happened in the save, how it's finished, and how we've come to the end of it. Like I say, I've been the worst at keeping up to date with this, and I do apologise for that for you guys that have been really enjoying the save, and the support for this save, not only on Twitch, which is obviously my main platform, but on YouTube as well. The comments, the shares, the likes, and all that kind of stuff. It's been more than I've ever seen on any other YouTube series that I've done personally. And thank you for all the kind words and all the support. And I am just sorry for not being more on top of it. We have come to the end of the save. The reason there hasn't been so many updates is there was just a unbelievably frustrating amount of crashes, having to replay games, replay sections of it, getting knocked out of European competitions early, which is why, like, once that's done, the domestic stuff is wrapped up. As you can see from the league here, 37 games played, 36 games won. It's been like that for 2 or 3 years. It's a dull side of the save, and I don't feel compelled to make YouTube videos for it. It's just, it doesn't feel like compelling viewing. On the flip side of that, because I've not been keeping on top of it, you haven't been seeing the progress we've been making in Europe. Now, we've won the Champions League in 2023. 6 years, 6 seasons, we have built the squad up to a point where we can challenge for the Champions League. Now, I'm going to kind of do a quick gloss over of the season, and then I'll take you through step by step of the games that we played in the run-up to the Champions League final. If you weren't part of the streams, please do follow the links down below. There are links to the VODs and the clips from a couple of games that were exceptionally good. The first knockout round against Atletico Madrid was a particular highlight, and then obviously the final, which was... It was fantastic. It was just the community, everyone that was that's been there as a part of the streams pretty much turned up for that final. It's a fantastic kind of atmosphere. So even if it is muted a bit with the music, I do compel you to go and to go and watch those on the VODs. Anyway, without further ado, and I'll stop rambling now. I'll kind of get on with a bit of a season overview and take you over what happened. So first off, before the season even started, we did do a bit of transfer business. We managed to do a bit of pretty good transfer business, in my opinion. We brought in Kasper Dolberg on a free. He's been rotting in the PSG reserves for 4 years. And his contract ran out. We're offering to pay him a bit of a wedge, 45k. But he came in and was instrumental in having a deep enough kind of striking, a deep enough amount of strikers, basically, to see us through the season. Because we'd have a few injuries and a few spots where we needed to be dug out by people off the bench, and he certainly did that. He's not as good as I've seen him turn out in other people's saves, per se, but still really solid striker, still only 25 as well. Great signing, especially on a free. We also brought in Ander Herrera. He, again on a free, so his contract had run out at United. They were happy to let him go. We're paying him 61 grand a week, so paying him a hell of a lot of money, for us anyway. But comes in to be our captain, comes in to be our experienced central midfielder, deep lying playmaker, sitting deeper, just controlling things. And again, was exceptional at that through the season. We brought in Ajdinovic, otherwise known as James Tarkovsky, named after an incredibly supportive member of the stream. So anyway, we'll gloss over that. But came in and became a first choice centre-back and created a formidable partnership with Boyanji at the back. We brought in Stephen Eustaquio, Canadian central midfielder. We paid a lot of money for him, actually, 16 million. But a fantastic central midfield option, rotated with Ander Herrera, and could also play a bit further up the field as well. Really creative, great on the ball, great composure, decisions, really good physically, and again, only 26, or 25 when we signed him. So I feel like a really good signing there. We brought in a young midfielder called Edson Luiz, who is a wonder kid. Fantastic, rapid, absolutely rapid from the centre of midfield. Decent passing creativity, decent dribbling, decent finishing. As you can see, 5 goals and 15 assists with a 7.83 rating overall. Really, really good player. Going forward, if I were to continue this save, I'm sure he would turn into an excellent player. We brought in Stefano Storaro for 9.75 million. Now, he didn't play that much, but he did have a really bad injury. So he missed 3 months, I think, of the season through that. But he was fantastic at coming off the bench. As you can see, he came off the bench 7 times in the Champions League. When we were just trying to defend a lead or we were just trying to stiffen up in midfield, we'd bring him in as a ball winner. Perfect at that. Great engine, great mental attributes, good tackling and marking, just proper engine. Still only 30 years old, so still got a few years in him as well. We brought back Luka Adžić. As you may remember, he went for 30 million at the end of last season. Well, the start of last season. So we lost him. He spent the year kind of being in and out of the squad. I tried to loan him at the start of the transfer window, and they wanted all of his wages paid, plus I think it was about 2 million a month, whether he played or didn't play. So it cost a hell of a lot of money. I fought against it. Then I went back on the transfer deadline day, and they just wanted 50% of his wages paying. So welcoming him back with open arms. He was kind of split between playing up front and in midfield, because we do genuinely have better options than him now. He got himself 6 goals and 14 assists in 16 starts. Again, fantastic player, a bit of a hero, and I'm glad he came back for this final year where he actually got the chance to lift the Champions League against Chelsea as well. So that was impressive. We brought in a couple of youngsters as well: Ahmed Sami, Hans Mo, Andeel van Rensburg, Kleberson as a young centre back, and then this young centre back called Baby, who is a 18-year-old Brazilian when we signed him, 19 years old. He's going to be one of the centre backs taking the club forward. So yeah, great bit of transfer business. We brought in a little bit of money. We let Angelo go out. We let Djudjevic go out. Ilic, Neskovic. Just basically clearing out a little bit of deadwood and bringing through better players. Speaking of better players, let's have a little look at how the players performed over the year. So as you can see, there's a few players that were absolutely outstanding. If we're just going to go over the average rating, you can see Patane, unfortunately missed the last game with injury. Got himself 8.3 over the season, 37 goals in 31 starts, 14 and 14 in the Champions League, 23 and 15 starts in the league. This guy, wonder kid, media description, I couldn't agree more. Amazing player. Over the last couple of years, he scored himself a lot of goals. This year, he's really set himself apart, though. 20 years old. We brought him in for what at the time was a club record fee of 4.6 million. Now, divided at 11, it's going to cost a lot of money to pry him away. After that, we had Nikola Jovanovic, who was one of our right-back rotation options. Performed amazingly. To be honest, our 2 right-backs, you could chop and change them either way. Both get plenty of assists. Both play really well. Miskovic was our first-choice right-back, just a little bit more developed. But there's not really that much between the two of them. But Jovanovic came in playing really well. Jeremic got himself 26 goals and 25 assists in 30 starts over the season. That is outstanding. Again, an elite attacking midfielder at 21. Serbian, valued 11.5 million. There's not much much more I could say about him, to be honest. He is an elite attacking midfielder. We do play him as a false 9 up front, which gets the best out of him, it seems. Plays on that right-hand side, can whip the crosses in, run at people. He's quick, he's strong, good finisher, good dribbler, he's creative. Yeah, the linchpin of our attacking movements. And then Veljic as well, coming in with just the 31 goals in 27 games. Had a bit of an injury-struck year this year. But, again, elite striker. You can't really say much more. He's fast, he's strong, he's great at finishing, great in the box, with really good heading for a guy that's 5'9" and can't jump. His off the ball is exceptional, great composure, decision, determination, technique. He places his shots, he rounds the keeper, and he put 31 in 27 and 15 goals in 12 Champions League appearances. There was a performance against, as I mentioned earlier, there was a performance against Atletico Madrid, which was an absolute epic over the 2 legs, and he is the single reason why we managed to make it as far as we did. Again, if you haven't seen the stream or the VOD, please click the link down below and watch it. It's next level. And then just going through, it's just a lot of very good performances. Radonjic, mainly a substitute, 29 goals in 29 appearances, 17 assists, 7.98 average rating. Unsung hero. Again, fast, strong, big, just exactly what we want from forwards. Saranovic, who have been singing the praises for years now. Still a wonder kid, still playing really well. Serbian, 20 years old, year on year, performance just improving. He didn't get quite as many goals and assists this year, but he only played half as much in the league as he did previously. We were obviously saving our stronger side. Because we have got a much stronger squad overall, I was saving my strongest side for the big European games. And you can certainly tell just from the amount of games played. Then David Nyarko, club vice-captain, got to be one of the best left-backs in the game at this point. Fantastic player. 7.93, got himself 8 assists and 3 goals in his 25 appearances. And then it's just, after this, it's just 7.9, 7.8, 7.79. Our worst performing player, Uros Maksic, our first choice keeper, is a fantastic goalkeeper. Got himself a 7.28, kept 14 clean sheets in 36 games. The performances across the board have been outstanding. A big shout out to Kasper Dolberg as well, like I did mention before. Not the greatest in terms of his average rating, but 4 goals in 1 start and 6 sub-appearances in the Champions League. He changed a lot of ties. 24 goals and 23 starts in the Super League. 31 goals in 27 starts overall. For a free signing, that ain't too bad. I'll take that every time. Okay, guys, and the bit you all want to see, I guess. So because of how much the Serbian League has improved, we don't have to go through endless rounds of qualifications anymore. We went straight through to the Champions League playoffs and beat Red Bull Salzburg. 4-0 at home and a 1-1 draw away was enough to see us go through. We then were in pot 3 for the group, which saw us go into not an easy group, but certainly could have been more difficult. Some of the groups were absolutely ridiculous. If we pull up some of the groups, Bayern, Ajax, Shakhtar, Monaco, not ideal. Real Madrid, Juve, Arsenal, City, Napoli, Villarreal. It was Man United, Atletico Madrid, Celtic, Leverkusen, PSG, Barcelona, Sporting Lisbon, and Olympiacos. Probably the worst of all those. But like I say, our group wasn't as difficult. I'll be honest, I expected Dortmund and Feyenoord to do a bit better. But ourselves and Galatasaray went through. We were actually unbeaten in the entire group stage. So plus 19 goal difference, 18 points. And yeah, we're away through to the first knockout round. So after that first knockout, after the group stages, we obviously finished first. We were due to face anyone who finished second in their group. And who did we pull out? But Atletico Madrid. So this first leg against Atletico Madrid, I'll be honest, could have gone better. 4-1 loss. Miskovic got himself sent off after 28 minutes, and we were just on the back foot from there. We were already 2-1 down. We just pulled a goal back. We go down to 10 men. In trying to get that equalising goal, I start pushing more players forward, playing a bit more attacking, and they just hit us on the break a couple of times in the space of 10 minutes. It's 4-1. At this point, again, I'm kind of losing my mind a bit, thinking, what's the point? The domestic side of the game is pretty pointless. Like, we just run through the domestic game. I'm thinking, right, well, we're going out after the next game. I'll play through the end of the season, and I'll see if I want to continue it there. So we have a few good games. FK Rad. We have a 2-0, an 8-1, a 6-1 in domestic games. And then the game of the save, to be honest. Probably the game of my Football Manager streaming career. It was next level stuff. We go 4-1 at full time, which sees us go into extra time. Diego Jota, after seconds in added time, scores a breakaway goal. We managed to win a penalty, which Veljic tucks away. And then in the 117th minute, Asmir Veljic breaks through. Everyone is exhausted. They're all like 40% fitness. He just has the extra bit of energy. Breaks through, chips it over the keeper, into the far corner, puts us through. His hat-trick in that game is the only reason that we went as far as we did in the competition. That performance there is the standout. When we won that, I thought we can go and win this. If we can get past a 4-1 deficit against a team as good as Atletico Madrid, then we can go the whole way. If you don't watch any other game, if you don't go back and watch the Champions League final or watch any of the other VODs, or if you weren't a part of the stream, there will be a link in the description, and I'll drop it in the comments as well. Actually, a link to the entire game of that. There are going to be bits that are muted. There are going to be bits that there's going to be, because of the music that's playing. But that 6-2 game there is probably the most intense game emotionally that I've been involved in when I played Football Manager, it is certainly the most enthralling game I've ever streamed live. So please, I implore you to go and watch that. You won't be missing out. And while you're there, give me a follow on Twitch, why not? We then follow that up with more domestic domination. And then we're against Leon in the quarterfinal. 3-1 at home. Sorry, 3-1 away. 4-0 at home. Given the right draw, we could see ourselves in the final. We're playing some fantastic football. We're scoring a lot of goals. With our key players being Veljic and Patane. We get to the Champions League semi-final. We win 3-2 away against PSG. Now, bear in mind... Sorry, I'm just making sure it's recording. I've already done this once. Bearing in mind, the last time that we saw PSG, or last time we played against PSG, it was in the Europa knockout round where they were a class above us. We now go away to them and win 3-2. It was a close game. We bring it back to our place and we win 3-2 again. 3-2 again, sees us through to the final. At this point in the stream, we are watching games on max speed on commentary only. Because we are just walking teams. You can see 7-2, 4-0, 2-0, 4-0. 2-1 in the cup final. We play Partizan. We beat them 5-2 in the Serbian Cup final. And we just walk over it because it's domestic football. We are far too strong for these kind of people. The issue that we have, though, as you can see... Where is it? In the 4-0 win against Kukuricki, Radonjic, Patane pick up injuries. The reason Radonjic is playing is because Asmir Veljic, in the second leg of the PSG game, picked up an injury, ruling him out for a long time. So we're going into the Champions League final without our two best players, Patane and Veljic, goal machines. They've struck up a really good partnership. Jeremic is still available, and he is, obviously, the amount of goals that he creates as well as scores is really important. But we're going to have to get our backup players to step up. And step up they do. 4-2. Kasper Dolberg with a brace coming into the team. Started the season really poorly. Couldn't buy a goal for the first month or two. Up until the winter break, he wasn't doing a fat lot. Since the winter break, he's just been scoring more and more goals, getting more consistent, looking more impressive, and get to the Champions League final. He steps up. Brace for him. Radonjic, the other unsung hero of the team, steps up and gets himself a goal as well. We win the Champions League 4-2. They pull one back on the 71st minute, but at that point, it's long gone. We're well in control of the game. Amsterdam Arena. We've done it again. We've won the Champions League with Red Star Belgrade again. We've achieved what we set out to do in when we started the save. I thought we might only be able to get to the point where we're competing for a Europa League within a decade. Turns out, in 6 years, we've managed to win the Champions League. So, there we go. Apologies once again, guys, for not putting as many update videos up as I intended to, or said I would. The issue is just there's been a lot of crashes, a lot of times when I've had to replay a lot of saves, a lot of games, go back over, 2-3 months worth of game progress and all that kind of stuff, and just the frustration of getting knocked out of European competitions means there's not a lot to watch. Domestically, we're far too strong for everyone. And last season, we just weren't strong enough to really compete in Europe. So, yeah, as frustrating as it is, or as frustrating as it was, we have achieved it. I will say once again, if you haven't watched the Atletico Madrid game, if you weren't there for the stream, or if you haven't picked it up and checked it out on Twitch since it happened, please go back and watch that. It was intense. It was genuinely a stressful experience for me. And then go watch the Chelsea game. To be honest, by the time we get to the PSG games and the Chelsea games, I'm so confident in my players that we can come out of games winning that's what happens. I think it's just confident we're keeping the team playing the way they have been. I'm not trying to chop and change, and things just go right. So we've managed to win Red Star Belgrade, Crvena Zvezda, their second European Cup in their history. No doubt it's going to increase the club reputation and the competition reputation, the Yellen Superliga. It's no doubt going to improve the reputation of that, so hopefully going to see more money coming through. Like I say, I'm not going to be playing this personally going forward, but if you are a subscriber to the Twitch channel, I will be making that available to my Twitch subscribers. That'll be through the Discord. Again, all the links are down below if you do want to get involved with that. Just to kind of show what happened again here. 36 wins in 37 games, 1 draw, plus 136 goal difference. Needless to say, well, that just kind of shows why I've not been showing any domestic football. There's no point. We walk it easily. So yeah, we did it, guys. So yeah, there we go. We did it. 6 years it took, and 6 months. That's not usually the progress that I take on saves, but it's taken this amount of time. 6 months, 6 years. We've gone from having to qualify for the Europa League to winning the Champions League. We have had some fantastic regens come through, some fantastic new gems come through the academy, and also a bit of bargain hunting, needless to say, down in Brazil. The fact that Serbia joined the EU actually was a massive help, allowing us to sign European players and not have to register them for domestic games. Once again, guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you if you've followed the series so far. Apologies for not having as many videos out as I'd like. If you've watched any of the Twitch channel, thank you for the support on there. If you've not, we'll be starting our next save on Twitch in the next month or so. I'm going to aim to do updates similar to how they have been, maybe a little bit more spread out. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of work to be put into it. As you're aware, as you may be aware, I kind of changed the format a little bit halfway through the series, but even changing the format to lessen the workload, it was still a bit too much work for me. Having to work full time and do this as a part-time hobby, it's tough, especially when Twitch is my primary kind of broadcasting means. So if you do want to catch some of it live, I'm live most evenings. Make sure you drop in. It's just twitch.tv/VikingDan. Thank you for your support, guys. Just a couple of little blurbs before we go. If you haven't already, make sure you go and follow me on Twitch. That's where the majority of my gaming output goes. Also, don't forget to follow on Twitter. Don't forget to join the channel Discord. There's also a channel Steam group as well where you can get in touch with myself and other viewers. And as always, don't forget to get involved in the WeStream FM community, a Discord community for Football Manager aficionados, players, streamers, bloggers, YouTube creators, everything, every form of FM, and other games as well. So drop in. It's just a nice place to be. Well over 1,200 members now. It's a very active community. So drop in there. You can get in touch with me. You can get in touch with other like-minded FM fans. But as for now, that's going to be me for a little while until we get the new save up and running. No teasers as to what it's going to be just yet, but keep an eye on the Twitter. And yeah, I'll see you all next time, guys. Thank you very much. Goodbye.